welcome everyone to Silver Asset of the Day and also today's Q&A as well. So the first question we have today is from Eduardo, and this is with regard to gold and its current upward trend at the moment and really what to expect next and over the course of this week. So very much as I mentioned in Gold Asset of the Day, and this will be the case of silver as well, you want to be currently very nimble on gold and have the ability to trade the ranges. So over this week, I'm looking at the lower end of the range for gold to be sitting approximately between 1475 to 1480, and then the upper end of the range around 1500 to 1510. Now this makes a very tradable range, but again, you want to be very ready to take your profits off the table, and we're not expecting that large breakout just yet for gold. I would look out for that potentially at the end of the month and as we move into November as well. We do have the FOMC statement, which absolutely you want to have in your diary, which is next Wednesday, the 30th of October. This week as well, on Thursday, we have the European Central Bank announcement, and we'll continue to be getting more breaking news items with respect to Brexit, and of course we want to see whether the Brexit withdrawal bill will get pushed through later on the week on Thursday. All of these provide a lot of volatility and great day-to-day trading opportunities for gold. So right now, the real key is with gold to be nimble, take your profits off the table once we see those quick breakouts, and be wary that at the moment it's very much a consolidation that we're seeing on gold, and you want to be able to trade those ranges. The next question today is from Goodliano from Pretoria, South Africa. And this question is with respect to gold, really how to get started in this market. It's a great question, and essentially when you start trading gold or you're starting to track gold, you want to pay a lot of attention to a few intermarket correlations. Now, of course, with gold, you absolutely want to be watching silver as well. The gold to silver ratio today has started to break down back to 84 to 1, which does suggest at the moment that we could start to see gold prices in the short term here, they may underperform silver. So what we're seeing at the moment is silver has actually managed to break out back towards that 1760 level over the course of the last 24 hours. In fact, at the beginning of the week, platinum and silver have been leading the metals and gold has started to catch up. So absolutely when you trade gold, you want to start tracking other precious metals. So that of course includes silver and platinum. Two other markets you also want to have on your watch list will be the US dollar index. Predominantly gold is traded in US dollars, and you will tend to see an inverse correlation between the dollar index and gold prices. Now we haven't seen that as much in the last week, predominantly because of all of the Brexit headline news. We haven't seen the dollar's weakness have such a significant impact on gold prices to the upside. But usually the way that the inverse correlation would work is that if you see the US dollar, for example, surging in price, you'd often see that put pressure on gold priced in US dollars, and also silver as well. And if you were to see the US dollar break down in price, often that would help gold and silver priced in US dollars to break out higher. The other market you absolutely want to have on your radar right now is US equities and the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 over this week has broken back above 3,000 level. There's quite a lot of optimism with regard to the US and China trade deal, where there's going to be more talks and negotiations as we go into November. Now, with the S&P 500 driving high like that, you tend to see capital flow out of safe havens such as gold and into US equities. So at the moment, when we are seeing breakouts in the S&P 500, we tend to see that put a little bit more pressure again on gold and silver prices. The opposite is true as well. If you get any negative rhetorics regarding the US and China trade wars, that's where the S&P 500 can have large sell-offs, and very quickly gold and silver can break out to the upside. So you definitely want to look out for those intermarket correlations. They will help you a lot when you're trading gold, and of course you want to be very focused on the precious metals if you're going to just be trading gold. The final question today is from Mimo, and that is with regard again to the precious metals. We'll go over silver in a bit of detail for you as well, Mimo. So essentially, with the silver market at the moment, as I mentioned, the gold-silver ratio is starting to break down. Silver has been leading so far this week. We still maintain our position actually at $16.98 for silver here, and we're essentially looking for more consolidation and range-bound trade with silver. But I would look out for potential if we were to see gold break out back towards that 1500 level. Silver, the next real key magnetic level at the moment, is $18. If we were to see another correction on silver, we may not, but I would be looking to build more positions around that $17 level if we were to pull back that low. Now, of course, we've got more volatility scheduled later on this week with all of the Brexit headline news and also European Central Bank announcement on Thursday, Mario Draghi's final press conference. All of this can provide some really great opportunities for the precious metals, but right now the key really is to be very nimble and to be able to trade those day-to-day ranges and really capitalize on those pullbacks and then bank profits once we see magnetic level hits. So for example, $18 would really be the next key level of resistance I would look at for silver. Our final questions today come from Jesutas and Zubas, and that is with respect to gold prices, what we're really expecting over the course of today and over the course of this week as well. Well, essentially, we are looking again for more of that range-bound trade on gold. So essentially, we're trading right now around 1,485 US dollars per ounce. If we were to get another dip back towards that 1480, 1475 zone, absolutely I would look for buying evidence around that level. I am looking for a rotation back towards $1,500 between now and the end of the week, but there will be lots of volatility in between. You really want to keep out for that buying evidence at the lower end of those ranges. We're not expecting a huge correction here for gold. We're expecting more range-bound trade, more of a consolidation, but also keep a very close eye on key news items for Brexit and also the European Central Bank announcement on Thursday as well. And of course, next week we have the FOMC statement. All of these can be catalysts for explosive moves on gold. So with that, that's been Silver Asset of the Day. Thanks again for all of your questions, and I wish you good trading.